Today we're talking about how to get in shape with limited time. More specifically, how to get in shape as an adult with a ton of commitments, responsibilities, and a giant to-do list. If you don't know me, my name's Eli, and I've been lifting for around 6 years, and I've helped over 100 busy adults build their dream physique while still having to work 60 hours a week. And after watching this video and going through my 3-step process, which I like to call Eli's really helpful plan, you'll not only have more clarity and control over your schedule, but you'll finally be able to take the steps necessary to build a physique that you love, feel the most confidence you've ever felt, and feel 100% confident in social situations. So without further ado, here's my 3-step process to getting in amazing shape with a really busy schedule. So before we dive into this plan, I think it's important to bring up why it's even so hard for people to get in shape when they have a full-time job, kids to take care of, and a boatload of other unique and random responsibilities. And it's a pretty complex topic, so I figured I'd break it down into like 5th grade English so anybody could understand it. And there's really 3 things that make it so hard to get in shape when you're busy. Number 1, and probably the worst one, is lack of structure. You know, not having any governing times for when you're supposed to work out, when you're supposed to meal prep, when you're supposed to go grocery shopping. It basically strips all the organization out of a process that needs organization. Number 2 is just a general lack of knowledge on what to do. If you don't know what to do, your motivation to show up and do things is going to be very low. Nobody likes sucking at things and feeling uncertain. You know, not knowing important shit like what workouts to do, how long you should work out, what the ideal breakup of exercises is, what foods you should eat, what ratio of protein to carbs to eat, what to do for your specific situation. And that is a lot of stuff to think about when you're already overworked and you have all these things going on. So you probably just won't do it. But that's kind of why people like me exist. And number 3 is just general excuses. And these excuses typically happen due to a combo of the first 2, not having structure and not knowing what to do. And in the mind of a busy person, it's very easy to justify not taking the necessary actions to get in shape, because it's so easy to be like, oh, I'm not going to do this because I have XYZ going on. I can't do this right now because I'm super busy. And in your head, it actually feels good to say that, because in your mind, you're like, oh, there's a good reason for why I'm not doing these necessary things for my life. And the truth is, a lot of those reasons are pretty valid. The validity of those excuses does not change the fact that you're still not taking that jump and doing the things you gotta do. Most of the excuses stem from time, especially in your position, right? And all you really need to know is this 3-step plan that we're gonna go over today is gonna remove your lack of knowledge, it's gonna give you structure, and it's gonna eliminate all those excuses that have been plaguing you from actually getting shit done. And after watching this video, the only thing left to do is do the stuff. So the first phase we talk about is going to cover the structure of what you're doing. And I like to call this the when phase. So what we're going to be doing here is figuring out your ideal times to work out by auditing your schedule. We're going to find when you have free time and when the most logical times to work out for you would be. So let's start with step A. Map out your schedule as it stands, not including one-off events like little family dinners or meetings that don't reoccur. Map out all your reoccurring stuff. And now pause the video until you're done mapping that out, and I'm gonna leave my example on the screen. Step B, I want you to mark all these tasks that you put down in red. I'm sure if you're using a Google Calendar or some kind of calendar, you can color code the events, but you want to have your non-negotiable, unmovable time slots marked somehow. And then what I want you to do is mark down all the free time you have between when you wake up and when you go to bed. And I would mark this in green to kind of signify like this time is free. And be very realistic about this. You're probably going to have some things in your head that you don't want to block off, but be realistic about when you actually have free time that you can add stuff to. Pause the video until you're done adding these blocks to your schedule. I'm going to leave my example on the screen again. Step C, with this info out of that free time, I want you to block off 3 45-minute time blocks for you to work out. Ideally, you'll have a day separating each workout, but if that doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. And now you've already marked down a bunch of free time, so you're only lying to yourself if you say you can't add these 3 time blocks to your schedule. So pause the video real quick and add these to your schedule, titled workout, and give yourself reminders for each of these recurring times. And there you go. Now you have 3 times carved into your schedule to work out. That is really all the structure you need. You need to have specific times that you're doing specific things. That way there doesn't have to be so much brain power going into, oh shit, when do I go to the gym and work out? It's just there. You've already decided that. Now this one might be a bit trickier, but I know you can do it. Now every single day, yes, I'm talking about like every day, I want you to mark down 15 minutes, which is not that much time. I want you to mark down 15 minutes that you can go out and take a walk. Even if that walk's just on a treadmill. If you can do more than 15 minutes, great, but at least start with trying to get 15 minutes a day. Now this is going to be the trickiest part of step one, but arguably the most crucial, because it's not enough to just have times marked on a schedule when you're used to doing something else. That's generally not enough to activate you to do the stuff. So step D is making a pre-workout ritual. Think of this as like a little habit chain or a little habit sequence that gets you ready and kind of pumped up and mentally activated for that workout. For example, my pre-workout ritual is I eat the same pre-workout meal, then I drink some water to get myself hydrated, and then I drink some caffeine so I'm ready for that workout. And then I wait about 45 minutes so I have some time to digest, and then I go. I've been doing that almost every day for the past 6 years. And so when I eat that pre-workout meal, in my head, I now associate that with my workout. So as that chain of events goes on, I'm just ready. Now we want to keep this pre-workout ritual as simple as possible for you and not take up all this time in your schedule. Change into workout clothes, have a bottle of water, and have a little pre-workout snack so you have energy for the gym. And again, there's ways to optimize your pre-workout ritual to make that workout super effective, but the most important thing for you at your step in the game right now is to just have a system to get you in the door. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. So even if it is just drinking a bottle of water and having a little granola bar or something, that's better than nothing. And if that's enough to get you in, then it's good. And just like the workouts that you have scheduled, I want you to add this ritual as a reminder in your calendar before those workouts. I'm going to pause the screen again and I'll let you look at my example. So what we just did together is solve a massive portion of this problem. You now have clarity as to when you're going to go to the gym because you based it on your actual schedule and your actual free time. The second thing we did is give you a ritual so that habit can start building and it can start sticking. Phase number 2 is what I like to call the what phase. And this is where we're going to be talking about what you're actually doing in those workout blocks that you've selected. This is going to solve that knowledge gap, right? We solved the structure. Now you need the knowledge, or at least you need to know what to do, even if you don't fully understand the concepts. So with those 3 workouts that you have marked in your calendar, one day is going to be a full body workout, the next is going to be a lower body workout, and the third is going to be an upper body workout. And now pay attention closely, okay? In the description of this video, I am going to give you a workout plan that matches up with the days that you've set aside. I'm going to give you the exercises to do, how many sets to do, how many reps, how much weight to use, how long you should rest, and I'm also going to explain how to perform the techniques properly. That way, when you're going into the gym, not only do you have this structure, but you know exactly what you're doing in there. So I'm going to show you this gym routine on the screen real quick, so feel free to take a screenshot. But again, it's also going to be in the description if you just want to download it at the end of this video. Now, I made 2 versions of this routine because for some of you, it's going to be more convenient to work out at home. So I made a dumbbell and body weight version of this program, and then I made the same version for the gym, right? So the exercises will be a little different, but same concepts and the same premise, basically. And there you go. Now you got the structure, now you got the knowledge. There is literally nothing else holding you back from getting to your gym goals. Because now, when you think about those excuses you want to make, they're not actually that valid because you do have the time and you know what to do. So now what? Now you have an actual system. That's all you needed. Now, step 3 is my favorite part of this sequence. This will take everything we just worked on and kind of lock it in place so you never fall out of line. So this exercise is very simple, and I'm gonna want you to pause the screen again after I tell you what to do. And I'll leave the instructions on the screen. I want you to get out a piece of paper or an online document, and I want you to write down every excuse you have made or typically make as to why you can't get in shape and why you can't do the things necessary to build the life that you want. I don't have time. I'm not disciplined enough. I don't know what to do. I don't know this. I don't know that. Write that all down, okay? And leave some space in between them. And now I want you to sit for 5 to 10 minutes and challenge yourself on each of these excuses. I want you to write down a few reasons specific to you why these excuses aren't valid. Actually take the time and think about it. Like, why does this excuse not apply to me and how can I overcome it? And now not only do you have the structure and the knowledge, but now you have a contract for yourself as to why the things that have been holding you back can no longer hold you back. So if you're able to, what I want you to do now is just print out this document. If you don't have a printer, that's okay. And then once you have that document in front of you, I want you to sign it. It sounds kind of goofy because you're signing a contract to yourself, but I think it has some meaning to it. Like, you are basically committing to yourself. And I think that's really huge. So there you have it, man. If you've made it through this entire video, you have just set the blueprint for changing your entire life in one day. And that's pretty crazy. You rejected your excuses. You actually sat down and committed to times in your schedule to exercise, and you also know exactly what to do. So my parting question will be, with all this new info, what excuse do you actually have to not get in the best shape of your life? All right, I'll catch you later.